Hey everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Just a quick couple things before we introduce today's guest. So, as you know, of course, we have the YouTube channel here that we would love to see you subscribe to, share the channel as well. We are really growing. We've grown a lot. I think we started posting in May of last year. We had about 4 subscribers, something like that. Now we're up to 237. So, if you can help us with that, that'd be great. Of course, visit our website, hardshiprealestate.com. In particular, if you go to the tab for senior transition housing and probate, that shows all of our services. A couple of our other sister companies are Ogden Leighton Estate Sales. So a lot of times when we end up selling the house, we'll also clean out the house and liquidate the personal property. We also do what are called after death services, and that is through a separate company called Utah Non-Legal Probate Services. Those after death services are things like handling third party notifications for credit debts and accounts, connecting you with attorneys, turning off subscriptions, things of that nature. But without further ado, I wanted to introduce our guest. Our guest today is Jenna Tyler, who is the sales manager at Harrison Regent Retirement Community in Ogden. She's going to tell us more about her job and, of course, that community. So, Jenna, tell us a little bit about Harrison Regent and your job.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me on, Stephen. I'm glad I'm able to be here. So, Harrison Regent is a retirement community. We're independent senior living in Ogden, Utah. We're owned by Atria Senior Living Company. They're the largest senior living group in North America. We've been here in the community over 40 years now. So, we've a lot of people in the area to know us and have family members or loved ones that have been here. And we're just happy to be on your show today.
You said retirement community. So what levels of care do you have there?
So we are 55 plus independent only community. However, the nice thing with senior living is there are resources out there to help you if you just need to simplify. So we have some residents who are taking advantage of home health services while having their meals provided here because it's all included.
Gotcha. Yeah, independent living is interesting. I've helped a couple people with that, and what they have enjoyed is they obviously don't have to do the yard work anymore. They have some sense of community. They've gotten rid of stairs most of the time, and then yeah, they can have 3 meals a day, and then there's all kinds of activities. So I think a question I have, and probably just for the audience's sake, is obviously we're always having to define like what these different things are. Like what's memory care? What's assisted living? Can you describe just almost as if I'm a simpleton what independent living is exactly?
Yeah, I describe it in two different ways. First way is I'd say it's like living on a cruise ship just in the mountains. And then I also will say that it is really just simplifying senior living. So a lot of times we hit that 55 plus age mark. And as we get farther from that 55, things get harder. We don't want to shovel snow. We don't want to have to wash all of our dishes or clean all of our bathrooms or whatever it is. And so independent living is still independent. We just simplify. We take care of those things that maybe you don't want to have to deal with every single day.
Yeah, I'm curious because some 55 plus communities have this rule that let's say it's married couple, one person is 55 plus, but the other one is maybe still in their 40s. If you allow that spouse to live in there, do both people have to be 55 or older?
We go case by case.
Yeah.
Our 55 plus, we only have a handful that are closer to that 55. Our median age is in our 70s.
Yeah. So then you're definitely past that. Um,
Yeah.
I'll tell you one of the things I've seen, and because I've sold some homes at 55 plus communities, right? Is you'll get people that call and they have like a son or daughter, like who's single, divorced, or oh, they just can't seem to keep a job, that sort of thing, and then they're in their 30s. And we always have to tell them no, but it's really common to get that question. So I just thought I'd ask. How long has Harrison Region been around?
This building has been senior living since it was built, and it was built in 85.
Oh wow.
So, yeah.
Wow, that's one of
So
the
we're coming up on 40 years.
it actually is a testament if y'all been around that long and still are doing well. So many of these old retirement communities, retirement castles, all that have either closed up or they transitioned to something really different. So that's interesting. I
Yeah,
think
we're only one of a handful in the area right now, at least.
we say area, do you mean just Weber County or Wasatch Front?
I like Wasatch Front, I would say, because there's a few in Davis County as well.
I know there's like a new independent living built in Farmington, but I can't remember what that's called, Station Park, but I don't know if they filled that up. They built a lot over there.
It's big. Yeah, I don't think they filled it yet.
I don't see how they would have, but what would you say is one of the challenges for a resident to make the decision to move into independent living?
I think there is definitely a stigma just surrounding senior living in general. A lot of people don't look forward to needing to give up responsibility, especially as adults. We take on so much and then we're given an opportunity to maybe let go of some of that. And I think that's the most difficult thing, saying like, okay, I'll get help with housekeeping, I'll get help with meals, transportation, whatever it may be. I think just giving up that control is difficult. However, I think in a lot of cases, when people are able to recognize that they're not giving up control, they're really just giving themselves more opportunity for more options. It's a healthier way to look at it because you're welcome to go out to eat every single day if you want to, or cook your own food still. If you're just craving something, no one's going to stop you.
Yeah. There's still, like you said, that independence and self care. I'm curious, how many of your residents have a house and end up selling it before they move in? How often does that come up?
Pretty often.
Pretty often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
Because
lot of people use the funds that they get from selling their house to live off of.
Mhm.
They put it in a separate account, they stick it on auto pay, and then they have whatever income they had outside of that as their fun money.
Yeah, and that's what we've seen. I've never had a transaction where someone had like long term care insurance, which I wouldn't think independent living would qualify for.
Yeah, we're private pay.
Y- the insurance long term care wouldn't make sense. Now, does your independent living take like the VA aid and attendance?
Yep, we qualify.
Okay, so you do that. Great. Well, tell me something else that I haven't asked about your community or even your job. You said you're the sales manager, so like, are you hunting for residents, or what is your day to day?
Now, typically, I am reaching out to people who have been referred to me. I get most of my residents as referrals, either from family members or from professionals who speak with them or real estate agents. I've got a few that I've worked with as well. And then I coordinate with them and I show them around our building. We just finished an almost $3 million remodel. And, so I love showing that off. I love showing them the beautiful spaces that we have here. We're actually having a grand reopening in October on the 24th. Anyone is welcome and they can come and just walk around. They can ask questions. They want to move in even better, but I'm not too worried about that right now. We want to make sure it's a good fit.
Definitely. I feel like we've covered a fair amount of ground in our quick interview. How can people best reach out to you and of course find Harrison Region online?
So you can find us on the Holiday by Atrium website, which we can put down in the description below, I'm sure. But my phone number, I have cards. So if you stop by our building, we're at 4481 Harrison Boulevard in Ogden. We're right next to McCady Hospital. Swing by. My cards are at the front if I'm not in the building stuff. They would usually here. But otherwise, you can just call our office line. So it's 801-479-1653. And you can reach us there. And if I'm not there to take your message, I'll reach out to you within the next 24 hours.
Wonderful. Folks, we appreciate you watching the video. For those of you that watched all the way to the end, like I said before, please like, share, and subscribe, and check out Harrison Regent. We'll see you soon. Bye.